Because I'm your guest. If you're staying with me in the United States, I'm going to be doing mostly everything. What are you saying, Igor?
Uh-oh, Nikki just called Igor, not Justin, and we all know what that means. Something must be terribly wrong between them again. So what is it this time, and how long will these two pretend that this relationship is actually working?
How to be in healthy relationship. Learn. Be little steps, do little steps. In us, for us, not thinking only about yourself.
Given the way that Igor's been acting lately, I'm not exactly sure he's the best person to be lecturing about healthy relationships. But then again, we do know that he's on a mission to assert his masculinity.
After I speak with the one, he tells me I need to be more man in this relationship. And I think that's true.
So before we get into Igor's attempts to lay down the law and be a man, let's rewind to the beginning. So when we last saw the pair, they were arguing about threesomes and who would take part. In his mind, Igor was doing everything he possibly could to try and fix this relationship. He was trying to improve their sex life. But understandably, Nikki doesn't see it that way.
Yesterday, it was a bad day for us. When I speak with Nikki about threesome, she got very mad. She's very jealous. I don't know.
Igor still doesn't know why Nikki's upset, but I feel like Nikki's been very clear that she's uncomfortable with the idea of a threesome until they manage to sort out their own sex life. She doesn't want to bring someone else into the dynamic until things are sorted out between the two of them. So that being the case, is Igor being deliberately obtuse? Is he choosing to frame that as Nikki being jealous, pretending that he doesn't understand? I mean, it's not exactly rocket science, is it? But as far as their plans go for today, Igor is gonna take Nikki horse riding. Only these two can't even go a single car ride without arguing.
How you start today? What do you do for us, for our relationship? You're not focused here. You're flying somewhere.
Igor's in a bad mood this morning. From the sounds of it, he's sick of Nikki's attitude towards their relationship. He thinks that Nikki's not making them a priority, but I don't think his point is really coming across, because Nikki questions what the heck he's babbling on about. And in response, Igor calls Nikki out for apparently starting off the day in a selfish way.
I got up and got ready and did my hair, did my makeup. I knew we were going to go horseback riding. What is the problem? You always make something into something more.
Now, I can't believe that Nikki has the audacity to call Igor a drama queen when she acts the way that she does every single day. But, that being said, this does sound like a pretty normal start to the day. So the question remains, what exactly is Igor so peeved about? What's got under his skin to make him lecture Nikki about being a better partner?
How to be in healthy relationship. Learn. Be little steps, do little steps. In us, for us, not thinking only about yourself.
Okay, fair enough. I think we've all established that Nikki can be a selfish person. But what exactly has she done today? I mean, this doesn't sound like it has anything to do with the threesome argument. So what little steps is he talking about exactly? Well, when Igor begins to speak to the cameras, suddenly it becomes very clear what's bothering him.
After I speak with the one, he tells me I need to be more man in this relationship. And I think that's true.
Okay, right. So this is Igor attempting to assert his masculinity. Well, that probably explains why he's raising his voice and speaking so demandingly then. But the only problem is, I don't think that's going to have the effect he's hoping it will, because I don't think Nikki has any idea what the heck is going on. To her, Igor's just got a bad attitude. She thinks he's picking a fight over nothing.
Yes, I did morning. I do a lot of stuff after you. Breakfast, bed, some Garbage.
Because I'm your guest.
Now, if I've understood this correctly, Igor's issue appears to be that while Nikki was getting ready this morning, he was left cleaning up after her. He was left to do the chores around the house, his house. But that goes against his whole masculinity thing. In his mind, he's thinking, how can I be the man in this relationship if I'm having to clean up after her? But like Nikki said, she is his guest right now. This is his house. So isn't this totally normal? Shouldn't he be in host mode?
If you're staying with me in the United States, I'm going to be doing mostly everything. What are you saying, Igor?
Uh-oh, Nikki's called him by his name. She never calls him by his real name. That means this is getting serious. What's happening right now goes deeper than some trivial fight about who's washing the dishes, and Nikki knows it. This all stems from some huge cultural differences between them, and those are the sorts of differences that aren't easy to get over.
There is a huge cultural thing with cooking, cleaning. He's accustomed to women. This is how they treat their men.
Now, Nikki says that she's learning, but whether that means learning to be a domestic goddess like Igor hopes, or whether that means she's learning to handle Igor's expectations is yet to be determined. But every time they fight, it becomes more and more obvious to her, and to all of us, that Nikki isn't the kind of partner that Igor seems to want. But as they arrive at the horse ranch, they both make the decision to put aside their fight.
So why don't we just enjoy the day for whatever it is? I'm only here for a short, limited time until I go back to the reality.
Igor asks Nikki to try and focus on their relationship in a positive way, and Nikki agrees. They've finally found some middle ground, they've reached some sort of agreement, and they both seem determined to actually have a good day. Now, the ranch that they've come to visit actually holds some sentimental value for them, so they're both hoping that it will trigger some good memories for them. It will remind them of what they're actually fighting for.
It's some special for us because the last 50 years earlier, we had some adventure here.
Igor's a romantic. We've seen it in the sentimental dates that he's organised for her since she's arrived. And today, he wants to replicate the old photos that they took the first time they were here. It shows just how much he treasures those memories, you know, the good times, from before he knew that Nikki was trans. But Nikki's being positive, remember? So she too is on board.
I think we should recreate the photo. Maybe somewhere around there.
Yeah.
The horses were different colors, but it's still,
No problem.
it's us on horses.
You can definitely tell that Nikki's trying. She's clearly taken Igor's words to heart, and she's trying to be the positive, bubbly girl that he wants her to be. And who'd have thought it? Maybe Igor's bizarre masculinity pissing contest actually worked. Because as soon as they finish up their riding lesson, Nikki appears to have an entirely new perspective on their relationship.
I want to really consider what I truly came here for. Put aside all our differences and literally focus on what really matters, our love.
Their love, says Nikki, is all that matters. It matters above all else. Now, that's a very romantic, sweet, idealistic way of looking at things, but in reality, it's not enough to maintain a healthy relationship. Nikki thinks that she's having a breakthrough moment here, but in actuality, what she's doing is sweeping their issues under the rug, completely unresolved. Now, if there is a silver lining to this, the one good thing to come out of it is that Igor has the self-awareness to finally apologise.
I wanna say sorry. I don't wanna hurt you. I hope you still love me and not judging.
Okay, it's a good start, but what exactly are you apologising for, Igor? Is it for your cheating? Is it for the incessant threesome chat? Well, whatever it is, Nikki's happy to take it and move on. It's been so hard to get an apology out of Igor that she's just delighted she's finally heard one. For her, it's a good sign. And so, it seems like the horse riding has turned the day around. In fact, Nikki even expresses how she feels about Igor far more openly than we've ever seen her do before.
I'm always going to love you. I loved you when I first met you. I loved you when I left you the first time, and I always thought about you.
Whatever Nikki's feelings are for Igor, be it obsession, infatuation, or genuine love, it's not her feelings that we've been questioning. It's Igor's. It's been Igor that hasn't been honest about his sexual attraction. It's Igor that has the wandering eye. It's Igor that's been with other people. And if this relationship ends, it's gonna be because Igor wants it to. We all know by now that the fact that Nikki hasn't yet left means she probably never will.
I think that we have made some progress. Let's enjoy our engagement celebration tomorrow. Is that what you want to?
Of course.
What? What are you talking about? What progress exactly? Because it looks to me like you're right back at square one. Igor and Nikki have gone full circle. They've gone back to outwardly declaring how they love each other without any kind of understanding or clarity about what's caused all of the arguments up until this point. Why has the other been acting the way they have been? Now, Nikki knows that cultural differences are going to be a huge issue for someone as independent as she is. But despite acknowledging this, she's not taking any steps to actually work through them.
I don't know. I don't think I could do better than him. And I know he's not going to do better than me.
If this is the basis, the foundation of their entire relationship, then it's going to be a very sad one indeed. With these two so wildly different, it seems impossible to believe that they're just going to magically work out in the future. But if Nikki's too afraid to leave Igor out of fear that she'll never be able to do any better, well, that means all the cards, all the power is in Igor's hands, and that means he's going to be the one that ends up shaping their future.